even on last Sunday, I wrote this. Before you can master change. See, change can be mastered. But before you master change, you have to receive the master.
Amen. Amen.
If not, you'll continue to give him loose change.
All right.
I want to tell you something about change. You're going to have to practice. See, you're going to have to practice in order to be able to master the change. And I want you to understand that in practicing towards change and in your change, there will be failures. See, that's the way the loose change coming in. There will be failures. But guess what? In failures, do you quit? No. Don't quit. You're going to have some hit and misses. Don't quit. You can't quit. Let me say this concerning your failures. You're going to fail until your feelings are dead. You're going to fail until your feelings become dead. What I mean when I say that is your desire to do what you want to do, that sometimes in some places are not right to do, until the feeling from that thing is dead in you, you're going to always fail and you're going to fall back into that thing. So know that your failures come from your feelings. And before you can master the change, as you practice change, there will be some failures, but the complete change will come when your failures result in your feelings being dead. So when we talk about entitlement, a lot of people's minds are messed up because of entitlements. And as I said, the definition for entitlement is the fact of having the right to something. And a lot of people feel they have the right to, and you can fill in the blank. I got a right to say whatever I want to say when I want to say it because you're not my mama, you're not my daddy. I have a right and I'm entitled to be disobedient if I want to be because I don't have nobody over me. But you see, whatever that right is, it has to be proven and a fact.
All right.
It has to be proven. So if I was to ask you tonight, what do you have a right to? Anybody, what do you have a right to? You don't have to say it. And then that's almost just like, what are you entitled to? What are you entitled to?
You don't want us to answer, you do?
You can. What are you entitled to?
I would say salvation.
You're entitled to salvation. Prove it by fact.
Because that's why Jesus died for me.
Yeah. Anybody else entitled to anything?
You will.
Oh, you got that. Why do we come? We're entitled to change. Why? Like I said last Sunday, just for the simple fact of the matter that we were born. And the word lets us know we were all born in sin. We didn't have a choice. But we were entitled to that choice. Whether we want to remain in sin or whether we want to choose life. And to have that more abundantly. I heard Hannah say something last Sunday in the first training. She said she was talking about how it saddens her to hear and to see how other people denounce God. And I was in there when I heard her say that. I said, And quickly, I thought about how we denounce one another, saying that we have God. I'm trying to get you to get to a place where this change becomes personal. Not a collateral change, but a personal change. And if everybody would look at themselves for change, wanting change, if everybody would, then it would be a collateral change. But it can't be with everybody looking at somebody else and what that person's doing and forgetting about self.
Amen. Amen.
I heard Hannah tonight say in what she did throughout the day, she said something about turning on Pandora. Now, I just got a feeling that it has something to do with music. Am I right? Okay. Let me tell you something. You're going to have to get to a place in the daytime, in your nighttime, that you're going to be able to meditate. You're going to be able to be in the presence of God without the aid of anything else, but just what's in you.
Amen.
With no extra additive.
Right.
No music. It shouldn't take that. It shouldn't take us having to hear another words. Everything is right and has its place. But we have to get to the place where we desire, and our desire takes us into what we're desiring without the aid of anything else, because He is our help. And as we desire to get to Him, to know Him, He then will help us. He will give us the help that we need. He's our only aid. Should be. And then Minister Palmer talked about the power of no that we talked about on last Sunday. Words have power. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Words have power. And as I said, the first person that needs to experience the no is
Myself.
y'all said that like y'all didn't believe it.
Me.
That's the only way change will come. Because everything that you big and bad enough to do, can do, will do, and want to do, you will do.
Amen.
Because you cannot receive, neither have you told yourself no. Knowing that some things you do is wrong, you refuse to hear the word
No.
If you were to hear yourself tell yourself no, and you be as stern with your no as you are when you giving it to somebody else that you really mean no. I believe when you tell yourself no in that manner, seriously, you'll jolt yourself and you'll become submitted to your no.
Okay. Amen.
But what keeps our no at bay?
What do you mean? Our desire to do what we're doing is greater than our desire not to do it.
Because what's going to be produced from our yes when it should be no? What's going to be produced?
Abstinence from whatever you're trying to do.
But the only reason why we told ourselves yes we could do it, the end result of our yes for us is what?
Pleasure.
Pleasure. Pleasure. Pleasure. Pleasure. Another thing is a place to keep pride alive.
That's right. Amen.
Isn't that something? It's something, man. It's more wrong with us than what's right.
Lord have mercy. Amen.
It's more wrong with us than what's right. And we need to hurry up and say no so that wrong can be worked out of us to produce righteousness. We really do. Take the no into your own self. We know when we're about to sin, when we're going to sin.
Amen.
We done gave ourselves permission to sin.
That's right.
A lot of people will say no, and another person will hear yes. It's all right. No, don't.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Don't play. Don't play. I hear the laughter of all the no's that was yeses.
It's true. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but it's this on the topic of change.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny, like I come and then you talk about it because I was I was trying to remember where I got it from, but it said you will lose yourself trying to change for people, but then again you will lose people when you try to change for yourself.
Amen. That's true. That is true. Because a lot of people like to be crowd pleasers.
Yeah, you talking.
And a lot of people, some people want friends so bad until, they fall into that situation. They fall into that group. And they wind up losing themselves.
Amen.
In that.
Amen.
They come to the place where they even lose the essence of what it is about change. They lose the essence of change because they've allowed themselves to go into a place where in that place no change resides for them.
Amen.
All for what? Just to be able to keep people as friends. And what we don't understand is those kind of people really have never been our friends.
Amen. Yeah.
So it will be a good thing to lose them. And hey, if I got to part from you in order that my life will be able to produce change for me, let me say this too. This is what I gotta do it just like it was in me to do. Come and listen to my story about a man named Jed. Poor mountaineer, barely kept his family fed. And then one day he was shooting at some food and up through the ground come a bubbling crude. oil that is, black gold, Texas tea. Well, the next thing you know, old Jed's a millionaire. The kinfolk said, Jed, move away from there. Said, California is the place you ought to be. So they loaded up the truck and they moved to Beverly Hills, that is. That was the Beverly Hillbillies. What the Lord showed me tonight from that, and I don't know why these things are coming like this, but as the song stated, before we even saw them in the current state that they were in, it was sung about. He was a man that was out there hunting for food, and he barely kept his family fed. But yet one day when he was searching for food, he shot, and up from the ground came his fortune. One thing about this man that brought about change, not only to him, but to his whole household, his whole family, even his lineage, was that he was determined to feed his family. Knowing that he had to feed his family, it produced a going, KK, in him. A going to the place where he thought he could find food, and he would go to this place. His change came in his going. See, whenever you can be concerned for you, but see, you got to understand that it's more to you than just you. Some things, the things that we do, others are either going to benefit, profit from it, or they're going to be hurt by it. That's it. That's just the truth. And we can't do anything. I didn't expect my children to do no more than what they saw me do.
All right.
And what was negative that was done in their presence, I would always redirect. You have to redirect. But I'm trying to tell you tonight, when it comes to our families and change, we're the ones that we have to take the lead. We have to go. We have to do what's right. We have to support. We have to in order for change to come, we have to teach. We have to instruct. We have to redirect.
That's right.
But we can't do none of that for them if it's first not in us. See, because the only thing you can give your children, the only thing we can give anybody is just what we possess.
That's right. Amen.
That's all. So if I'm entitled to change, I am. I'm entitled to change. And I thank God for that, because he did not just allow us to be born in sin without giving us the opportunity to be saved from sin. But some people that was born in sin will still die in sin. And I was talking to the prophet earlier tonight, and I told him, and I'll leave this with you all too. And when I tell you, you really don't know how glad I am. Now look, everybody can't say this. I'm going to tell you now, I'm going to end with this. Everybody, you can say it because you can speak, and I'm not talking about you directly. You can say what I'm about to say because you have speech, you have language, you can formulate words, sentences. But everybody can't say this. I am so glad that I believe. Everybody can't say that. Because you have some that's saying they believe, and the acts and the actions that is produced from them are all against God. It's against his word.
Amen.
But I'm so glad. I didn't say I am perfect. I said I believe. Therefore I change. I'm so glad I am a believer. I don't care I said, oh my, y'all don't know, you don't understand the magnitude of that.
Amen.
You really don't grasp that in your mind. I'm so glad that I'm a believer. I'm so glad that I believe in God. I believe in Christ. I'm so glad. How many other people don't and won't? I'm so glad that I am a believer. I could die in sin. It takes belief. Oh my God. And because I believe, I change. Ever changing. And really tonight, I leave you with this, and you can. This is your food for thought. As long as you've been coming here, as long as you've been coming here, be it whenever it was True Life Apostolic Church, True Life Fellowship, Crossroads Christian Ministry, as long as you've been coming, I can't even count the number of steps back and forth, the number of days, the weeks, the months, the years. But as long as you've been coming, seriously, where you are today, is there any progression of forward movement in your life? Are you still in the same place? Have you regressed? Have you gone back? Are you making forward movement? Are you just in a dry place? I am so glad that I am a believer. So much so till, I promise you, in the daytime, and it's happening now so much more till it's really scaring me. All I'm doing is just thinking things, and I'm seeing what I think. I'm seeing it. It's coming in real life right before me. I'm so glad I'm a believer. I am so glad for change. I'm so glad. And I thank God for Jesus. God bless you on the